We are now in May. These months seem to be just flying by, just as fast as this real estate world is flying by. And I'm bringing you guys another. This is going to be the full market update of what's going on in our market right now. We've seen some very interesting things, and as a knowledgeable agent in the community, I want to make sure I bring you guys real time, up to date information. So, with that said, let's kind of get started. The reason why I like to show you guys the market impact, this is going to show you what showing time is seeing. So this is pretty much, how people are seeing homes. And as you can see, when March happened, when the coronavirus all impacted, we saw a super sharp decline in showings, but everybody knows what that reason was for. And as you can see, as we start to reopen, we start to see that our showing time is actually starting to level off. So it just gives you a good indication of what's going on and who's going out to actually see homes. And then when we kind of continue, this is just a little quick market snapshot of, active, pending, and sold listings. And when you're looking at the pending sales, as you can see, it's kind of in that V shape with a sharp increase in pendings. And then when you look at your sold listings, we've seen a decline there. And active listings, we see a little bit of an incline there. So we're seeing really, really good things, and we're seeing some things that are, also going to have a big impact on, our market. And then when we go to look at active listings, there's about 6,132 total homes on the market right now, which that's actually a 19% decrease over, year over year. So 185 more active listings month over month. Broomfield County had the largest month over month increase of active listings at about 11.8%. And this just shows you, the difference with the detached single family I'm going to show you guys, and the attached single family. So we can know, because we have to separate those when we're looking at the market, because an attached single family is going to sell different than a detached single family. So we have to separate them two. And then when you're looking at detached single families, we saw a 26.4% decrease year over year in active listings. And Douglas County had the most active listings with about 943, which is actually down from this time last year. And over here is just going to give you each county, and it's going to show you all the active listings. And then when we go to the attached single family homes, you had about a 4.3% decrease year over year. And Denver County actually posted the largest year over year increase, up 10.2% of active listings. So as more homes come on the market, you should see an increase of active listings, especially with the COVID kind of starting to subside. And then when we're looking at the month of supplies, and this is something we really, really, really want to pay attention to, because this is going to show you what's going to happen to those prices. As supply and demand, which everybody should understand, is as supply goes up, prices usually tend to decrease. But with supply going down, prices usually tend to increase. And then when we look at, each county months of supply, I think we're at about a 1.3 months, and that's actually a decrease of about 25% year over year. Adams County actually had the lowest month of supply with about with about a month of supply left, and Elbert County had the highest with 2.7. And as once again, it's going to show you each county right here where their months of supply is. And we know an average months of supply is about 4. 4 and under is going to be, pretty much going to be a seller's market. When you get to that 4 to 6 range, it's going to be, more of a balance, and then it goes into that buyer's market. So right now we're still seeing that we're still in the seller's market. And then when we look at the attached single family homes, the attached single family homes increased to 1.8 months of supply, a decrease of 2.2% year over year. Jefferson County had the lowest months of supply at about 1 month, and Elbert County had the highest at about 6. So Elbert County, man, that's over, that's more in that outdoors. That's really, Elbert County, there's nothing really out there. But, they're starting to see a higher supply. And as as we see, this is what we're usually supposed to see in the summertime. The summer months, you usually see an increase in supply because everybody wants to put their homes on the market, and they want to get them homes sold. They want to move. And what's been unique about the situation is that we're in COVID, when everybody's locked down, they couldn't really do much. But even when that happened, all we saw was more of a decrease in supply. So, we're still waiting to see that increase in supply, so we can see some of those prices maybe go down or what have not. But, Only time will tell. And this is going to show you how fast homes are selling with the days on the MLS. The detached single families, the average days on the MLS increased to about 21 days, and that's a 10% increase month over month. Adams County, Arapahoe, and Denver counties tied for the fewest days on market at about 19. So if you look at each county, if you got a house that's selling in any one of these counties, this is how fast your home should be selling. And if it's not selling at this pace, you need to either make a price decrease or spruce up your marketing, because price is usually one of those most important parts that usually tells you if a home's going to sell or not. And then when we look at the attached single family, the average days on the attached increased to about 26 days. That's a 13% increase month over month and a 3.7 decrease year over year. Arapahoe County showed the biggest year over year increase in days on MLS to about 28.6, while Douglas County had about a 45% decrease. So that's a big decrease in Douglas County. But as you guys know, the MLS, I mean, the days on market is really important because it just shows you how quick your home's going to sell. And it will let you know if you need to make any adjustments if you're over that 26 or over the average days on market. And, once again, it's going to give you each one of those counties there. Adams County had the lowest, as you can see. So this is another fun little slide to look at because this one's going to show you the active listings by price range and the sold listings by price range. And this is going to be detached single family. So when we're looking at these price points, which is very important because this is going to let you know what your competition is and what price points are actually selling for those price points. And if you look here, let me see where we had the most active listings. The most active listings is going to be between that 679,000 price point. And as we see, that's a big increase in active listings compared to how many homes were sold. We had about 318 homes sold. So that just gives you an idea about how many homes came onto the market compared to how many homes were sold in the detached single family. And when we go over to the attached single family, seems like the 300 to 399 price point had the most active listings, but they also had the most sold per price point too. So, as much properties as coming on the market, they're being sold, that about the same speed. So, and then when we look at the months of inventory, which is my favorite slide because it gives you months of inventory by price point. So now if you're selling your home or you want to buy a home and you're looking at the price points to see where you can have maybe a good deal to buy. And then as a seller, you can see maybe if I'm over the average days on the market. And then when we look at the months of supply, when compared to average days on market, as you see, the higher average days on market, the higher supply has longer average days on market. The lower the supply, the lower the average days on market, as you can see here. And there's a lot of things that come into play with that because a lot of homes that sit on the market usually are not priced correctly and they have to have substantial price decreases. And when we're selling homes, we don't want to have too many price decreases because to the average consumer, that's something's wrong with that property. I need a deep discount. And that's kind of that's why, the average days on market is really important. And if we see here, months of supply for detached, let me see which ones had that 699 that we said earlier they even increased in months of supply, but their average days on market's about 33. And it'll give you each price point down there. All you have to do is kind of look and it'll show you there. And we'll go over to the the attached single family, months of supply, average days on market per price point. You can kind of see there too. And as you can see, the months of supply for the 2 million plus, that supply is really, really high. And the average days on market is at about 53. So as you can see, these higher price points are starting to see a longer days on the market, and the lower price points are seeing, faster sales. So if you have any price points and your home hasn't sold, or if you're a buyer and you want to buy something and you see that there's a house over the average days on market, that's more where you can maybe get a little bit of a discount there. Now let's move on to sold analysis. So sold units decreased month over month about 13%, which decreased 43% year over year. Denver County had the most sold units this month with 739, down 493%. So, we definitely had some decreases in sold units, but, that's also we do have a, a virus running around rampant around here that's kind of messing everybody up. But if you look year over year, May, they're down about 2,000. But May is usually one of the strongest months that we have when it comes to sales. So there's a lot of things that impacted, but we did see a decrease in sold units. And then when we look at the detached, they decreased about 12% month over month and down about 42% year over year, which, what was it? I think Jefferson County had the most sold units this month. So Jefferson County seems to be the hot market right now. Then we go to attached single families. They saw a decrease month over month about 14% year over year. They're down about 46%. So that's a big decrease year over year. But taking into consideration of the factors that's that we're fighting against right now, that's kind of expected. And then this is going to be average sold price from each county. The average sold price saw a 2.2 decrease year over year. Denver County had the highest average sold price with 619, which is down 2.4% year over year. And then homes sold for an average of $12,000 less than they did this time last year. So, if you would have waited a month, you would have been able to save $12,000, compared to this time. Compared to last month, because last month, I think they saw actual $9,000 increase. So that's definitely interesting to see from the detached single family side. And then when we look at the attached single family side, the average sold price for the attached single family homes was about $366. That's actually a 2.5% decrease. Homes sold for an average of $10,000 less this last month. So we definitely saw some decreases in sold price. So, and if you look at each county, it'll give you, the month over month change and the year over year change. And this is really, really important because, now we're seeing the average sales price go down. So maybe, if you have the right agent, this is really important because as a seller, you need to get your home sold because we're starting to see a decline in that price point. And as a buyer, you need a good agent that's going to be able to negotiate for you and get that $10,000 decrease in the price point. So that's definitely interesting to see, and really important for you guys to understand what's going on in our market because it's moving really, really, really quick. Sold units are down about 13% compared to last year, and this will give you, the good little, it'll give you all the numbers right here on the side for each county. And this one's going to be detached single family. They had a year over year sold units down 13% and attached single family down about the same. So, and then this page right here for detached single families, this is sold to list price. So pretty much how much you listed your home for compared to what it sold for. So if you listed it at 100,000 and it sold maybe 5% below what you listed it for, that's going to give you what the sold to list price was. And sold to list price for detached single family is about 99%. So that's a decrease month over month. So that's a decline. When we see sold to list price, there's a lot of factors that play into that, rather it was at market value or rather if they priced it correctly the first time. Usually when you see a price decrease, that's usually whoever priced it, they priced it, maybe they priced it incorrectly or maybe, they're not getting any showings. So they had to move the price down and had to have a price decrease. But, the 2 million plus, you're seeing that's actually selling a little bit above list price. And a 300 to 399 percentile, those are showing a little bit above list price too. So if you list it correctly, you usually don't see a price decrease. And then when we look at the attached single family, those sold about 99%. So that's a decrease of a 0.39%, which isn't much at all. But as you guys can see here, the decreases on price points are pretty limited. So let's move on to this next one. Yeah, so that's going to be pretty much it. This is May's information. June will be coming next month here, probably pretty shortly because, real estate is a little later. But I just wanted to make sure I keep you guys updated every month, make sure I give you guys all the knowledge you need to make an educated decision when you are buying and selling a house, because the more education you have, the better choices you can make. This is Josh Brown with iHomes Colorado. If you guys like this video, comment this video, show me some love, share it. Give me some more feedback if you guys want to see anything else. And I hope you guys have a blessed Sunday. Strive to be great every day and keep it pushing. Adios.